as well.
You can start. No worries.
Sorry, just opening remarks in terms of just the energy of the group being back here first day after getting back from Salt Lake on Monday.
Yeah, it's typical day back, kind of taking a pulse of everybody and both, physically, mentally, and also reviewing film and making sure that we are set up to have success in the next game. Good news is we're home, and I think we've worked really hard to get this. If it did come to a third game, we worked really hard to have home field advantage. So we're looking forward to getting back in front of our fans in our building, but we also understand we have to be better. We played a very good Salt Lake team. I thought they a highly competitive team. They were much better than the game before that, and we have to expect them to a similar type of effort from them. So there's some areas that we'd like to improve on, but overall, a lot of positives. I mean, you go away in this league and you tie a very good team and you force it to penalty kicks. So it was a resilient performance. It wasn't our best performance. We can be better with the ball, and at times we could have a little bit more from an effort standpoint. But I have no doubt that those two departments will be better when we come back home.
No question.
Was it comforting to know that the only goal allowed in regular was a free kick?
Mm-hmm. They're a very dangerous team, and they some different players started, and there was some health, and Arango came in and gave them a real spirit. So to keep them, to even one goal was again, I think a positive in this whole deal. That game was going to take another goal from us, or a big save, or something to get out of there with the win. But again, we gave ourselves a chance with the penalty shootout. Did pretty well, 4 out of 5, but they were just better than us in that moment. So overall, it wasn't our best, but it certainly was resilient, and that's sometimes what an away game looks like. And credit the guys. But we're looking forward to it. It's nice to be back, and it'll be nice to play one more in front of our home fans.
When it comes to adjustments, how much can you guys make as far as going from game to game? I know it's most of the game, or last game was a week in between, or whatnot, and this one a few days.
It's little tweaks, and now, I think because they have a certain amount of health now, or have a better read on kind of what they'll put out there. But it's little adjustments. Neither team's going to go crazy and throw out what they've done to get to this point. But of course, there's little tweaks here and there that, as you review the film, that we think we're a little bit exposed there, or maybe some areas where they're exposed, and that we can do better in some moments. So, but every game's different, and then not only is every game different, within the game it changes, and there's ebbs and flows to that as well. That the players need to adapt throughout the game. So it's going to be great. Again, today it's about getting everybody's mind and bodies right, and tomorrow I think we'll have a real nice excitement about the group and ready to go again.
I know in sports that usually the word pressure is not really kind of thrown around, right? But this is a game 7, even though it's a game 3, but it's a game with your backs against the wall. So how much pressure does come with a game like this?
A lot, and there was a lot on the last one, and there was a lot on the one before that, and there was a lot on the games that led up to this point to get into the playoffs. And once we got in the playoffs, there was pressure to have a home field advantage. And the Open Cup, there was pressure. This is what these guys do. And so, the good teams, it brings out the best in them. And for the most part this year, when we've been, against the wall, and we've managed to step up. So I expect us to have a good performance. It's going to need to be a good performance towards great performance for us to get by a really good team. But that's the challenge in front of us, and it's one we're embracing.
Looking back to what you guys were really never ever playing for a draw, but now with penalty kicks on the line and this, it may go to that, and how the penalty kicks just really didn't veer in our direction. How much of a focus is that in these next couple training days? Compared to
We'll always, every game we've prepared for penalty kicks. That's any competition where it could end that way. I think it's important to focus on it and make sure you're prepared, both whether you're the goalkeeper or shooters, and get some reps. And so, yeah, it's important. But there'll be no more emphasis on that leading into this game than there was in the last game or the game before that. The focus will be on how do we win this game, and there's different ways to go about it. As I said, there will be some tweaks, and but again, both teams know who each other are at this point, and we're just again looking forward to being home and in our atmosphere on our field, and for the most part this year, it's brought out the best in us. And it's going to have to, again, be at a really, really high level for us to advance. But we certainly have the team to do it. And I think we have the mentality. We've been through some big games that we're do or die already this year. So hopefully we can just continue in that form.
Talking about having each other's backs, right after Griffin scored his PK, he went, instead of celebrating or walking back, he went straight to Steve and just wanted to get him in the zone and said,
Yeah.
You got this, with some acceptance as well. But you talk about just like that team bonding, and you keep saying this is such a special group.
It is a special group, and they all ran to Amin right after the game. Amin was super disappointed, and they miss it. I've been there. That's not a fun spot to be in, but he's one of the guys that put us in this spot in this moment. The guys know that, so it's a good group, And we've said it over the last couple of months. We have to take advantage of this, and we want to stay in this thing. We want to keep this group. We want to enjoy each other's company more, and that means we have to advance this weekend.
You've been here for less than a year, Ben. Do you feel like this team has exceeded your expectations when you first got here?
My expectations were to make the playoffs, and I think the expectations of our team now overall are greater than maybe I thought they would be in this moment. I love that we're getting, critiqued for tying an away game at Salt Lake. And that means we're moving in the right direction, and that we're, we've won and tied away, and now, here for a third game at home. And the expectations are probably that we should win this game because we're at home. So that's great. That's what we've signed on for, and that's where we want to push this club. But my own expectations are probably from my past. I've been in the playoffs enough, and I've gotten teams to the postseason. So those were still the expectations. How enjoyable this process has been in working with Pat and Asher and the group gelling off the field, and some of the camaraderie and the culture building part. Maybe that's been the expectation. Maybe that's been sped up a little bit more than I thought it would be, and that's been great. That part I'm really happy about, and I've enjoyed the year. And just like the players, I don't want it to end. I want to keep pushing this thing, and we understand the task. I understand it's a very difficult one. That game showed us, again, the opponent is not the opponent we saw the game before, where, again, I thought they were passive. This was the real look at why Salt Lake has amassed the amount of points that they did throughout the year, and that for a period they were one of the best teams in the league. So we understand, I think, a little bit more what we're going against. And, again, just looking forward to a great challenge ahead.
Real quick, you guys have a great goalkeeper in Steve, but Jane Campbell just won
Incredible.
National Women's Goalkeeper of the Year. What are your thoughts on that?
Just congrats. She's awesome. Not only, again, I've only known her very briefly, but by all accounts, obviously, she's doing a great job on the field. But she's also a big piece of, from what I hear, that culture. And just congrats to her, and it's nice, you know. This is one thing I like about being here is it is a family, you know. We support them, they support us. The academy, the MLS Next team, it's a really neat atmosphere here. We all share kind of the same building, and I think it's you know, family I know is thrown out too much in this world, but it does seem like a family, and we're thrilled for her. Good.